Good morning, friends. This is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis. I've been journeying through my 40s, working very hard to get my poop in a group. To do this, I have been working on my financial, my physical, and my mental health. And welcome to a financial health check-in. Today is Friday, December the 9th, and I am going to be budgeting out my paycheck for today. If you are new here, then welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I know I've had a couple of new subscribers this week, and I'm super excited that you have decided to join me. And I hope that you find this content interesting and helpful to you. And if you are returning, thank you. I love you. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me again. For those of you who are not new, you know my routine. You know it is Friday, and it is significantly later than I wanted to start this video. It's 7:23, and I have to be to work at 8. So I actually do have some things I need to cover. I am going to cover my overspending. I have been kind of trying to rein in my overspending the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, but I've had some health diagnoses that I've overspent on my health. And part of my coping mechanism is I am an emotional spender, and it's the holiday season. And I'm also, one of my love languages is gift giving. So emotional spending, holiday season, when I love to give gifts to people, and having a new diagnosis of celiac disease, which has completely changed the way I eat, the way I shop, the way I can even interact with my friends. Yeah, I have spent some money this last couple of months, and it's okay because I have not gone into any additional credit card debt related to this. I do have some new debt that is interest free that is not related to this. But I did not charge up my cards up to where I can't pay them off this month. So I'm proud of myself for that, because this time last year is when I got into a whole lot of debt. If you've been with me for the last year, because I've been doing this channel just about a year now, or if you go back and watch my original debt confession from February, you will see that I had a lot of very high interest credit card debt. And that was from this time of year, from this time last year. And I'm very happy that I did not do that to myself this year. But I have been pinching things very tight, and I have been tighter than I have become accustomed to being in the last year with using my budgeting system. So I am going to cover my overspending because I got my check today. Seth paid me early for some reason. I'm not going to complain, but he paid me early. And I have gone through the rest of December and January and made sure that me covering this overspending is not going to affect anything, and it will not. It will make my money lower than it was anticipated to be, but I will still be okay. So I'm going to start with covering my overspending from the last couple of weeks, the last week, and then I am going to go in and budget my paycheck. So let's shrink me. And if you are not familiar with the app, the screen that you see behind you, this is YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget, and this is how I digitally cash stuff my paychecks and track my spending and expenses and things like that. So this is the app that I use here in conjunction with my budget, my actual paper planner. So I use my paper planner to plan out my weeks, my months, and then I come into YNAB when I get paid, or actually I do it every Friday, and I stuff my cash into the correct categories where they need to be, so I have the money available for spending. This also has an app, so when I'm out and about, if I've spent money, I can enter it into the app, or if I want to see how much money I have left in a category, if one of my friends is like, hey, let's go grab some lunch, and we're already out, I can look and be like, yeah, I've got $15 left in my category. Let's go someplace where I can get something for $15. Or I'll be like, oh yeah, I've got $50. Let's do whatever we want. I'm fine. So it helps me to have that available. So I did go over in gas last month. Actually, it wasn't last week, it was last month, but I knew I had, and it was okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and you will see, I'm going to add $31.80 to cover this. And you will see, I'm pointing at my screen, this will go red, but that's okay because I actually do have the money in the month of December. It's just going to subtract it from December. So the way YNAB works is it's telling me in November I have $16.82 to budget, but now in December I have 2,000, well, it added that. It said I had 2,000 let's undo what I just did so we can see what I was trying to tell you. $2,210.41 that I am going to budget today, but only $16.82 of that is actually technically available in November. So when I put $31.82 into here, which is done by adding 31.82, it's going to, well, it didn't even give me a red. It should have given me a red, but it didn't. I don't know why it didn't. And then it subtracted that money from here. So it is smart enough to realize that I actually do have that money available today. I'm just deciding it on a day that I didn't. And the reason it didn't show up over here as a, let's do it one more time. You can see that it's not showing in December that I'm overspent, because I charged that to a credit card. And when you charge money to a credit card, it gives you this yellow exclamation mark that's telling you, hey, you've overspent in this category and your budget's still accurate, but if you don't pay this, you're going to have credit card debt. But it doesn't carry it into the next month because it recognizes that you haven't actually overspent the actual physical cash that is in your budget, and your budget is still okay. You just don't have enough money to pay for it. So that's why I want to cover it here, because it's not showing there. So I'm going to say plus 3180, which this is my keyboard and not the app, y'all. If you are familiar with me, you know I always have trouble with my trackpad on my computer, and that's a user error. I fully admit that. But yeah, I do. So now I've covered my overspending in November. I'm going to go ahead and cover my overspending in December. And this you can do very simply by just clicking and say cover overspending with, and then select a category. So if I didn't want to cover it with this, if I wanted to say, well, I overspent, but that was my choice, and I'm going to cover that with my fund money instead of covering it with my new budget, I can. Normally, that is how I cover my overspending, but I made a decision today to just wipe it clean, cover all of my overspending, and start my budget fresh today. So I'm going to cover all of my overspending with my ready to be assigned. I am not going to cover this. Actually, I am going to cover this reimbursable. This is money that will be repaid to me by a coworker, but I don't know exactly when she's going to pay it, and I do still need to pay that card off. So this is not an overspending. This is a bill that came out today. And is that it? No. $42 in gifts and giving, because I took my mommy and my nephew out for lunch on Sunday. I finally got to go see my family. If you've been around for a couple of weeks, at least you'll know I had COVID over Thanksgiving, which stinked. It stinked, y'all, because I'm so good at the English. It was not very fun. It stunk. And I missed Thanksgiving with my family, so I was finally able to go in and see them this weekend, and I took them out for lunch at Giovanni's, which is an Italian restaurant in Lampasas where they live. And yeah, so it turns out Giovanni's has gluten-free pasta, but they can't guarantee that it's not cross-contaminated. So I just had chicken, which was still delicious. But if you are gluten-free and in the Lampasas area, you can go to Giovanni's. But if you are celiac, I would not recommend eating their pasta, because they told me they couldn't guarantee it wasn't cross-contaminated. So it's whatever. I'm getting used to things like this. So now all of my overspending is covered, and I have $1,975.46 to budget out my week. I'm sorry, I've got to drink my coffee, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm tired. And it's Friday. We have a new system at work that we've been using, a new ticketing system. Part of my job is people submit tickets to my team and we fix problems. We work in healthcare and I'm on the backside, and so I work in billing support basically. So if somebody is having trouble with billing, they submit a ticket to my team and we go in and we try to fix the problem that's being caused and figure out what's happening. They switched our ticketing system this week. We didn't get any pre-training. We got no warning that it was switching the day it did. We've been scrambling. It's been super fun. It's been a super fun week. So I'm tired. I'm very tired. I'm very happy it's Friday. I hate it when they do that. Have y'all ever had like just a new computer system thrust on you at work with zero to minimal training and not very much warning? How was that? How did that work out for you? Let me know. So today, the way I do my budget is every week I give myself, every single week for dining out, I give myself $50. For groceries, I give myself $75. For fun money, I give myself $10. And for ecclesial expenses, which this is my church donation, I give myself $40. That is every single week, whether it's a paycheck week or a non-paycheck week. Those are the ones that get filled. On paycheck weeks, I also give myself $50 for gas. I give myself $25 for self-care. And that's it for every paycheck week. Once a month, I give myself, I call these my sinking funds, except for pet expenses isn't really a sinking fund because it's every month I use it. It's not. So what I do is I move whatever is left. So this last month I ended with $21.56. I'm going to move that into my pet emergencies, which is down in my savings category. So I'm going to move that $21. Oh no, Becky. 21.56 to pet emergencies to zero that out. And then I'm going to add $50 to this. So now I have $50 available in this category. And the reason I do that is because I don't need $71.26 in this category this month. I won't spend that much. But I do want to build up a pet emergency fund, which I had built up and then we used, and then I built it back up and then we used it. And so it's very good for me to have this available. I do have 2 large dogs and I have a cat, and they need they need their shots annually. They get sick. They have different things that I have to pay for throughout the year for emergencies. And then this pet expenses category is just for their monthly, their food, their toys, their treats, whatever I need for them every month regularly. And then if anything is left, I move that into the pet emergency fund at the end of the month. I have not been able to do that the last couple of months, so I'm very thankful that I can finally do that again. Household gets $50 a month, and technically I spent it, but I have decided to give myself an additional $50 this month just because I know I need things. Nathan is my roommate. His children come in December for Christmas. They live out of state. They live in a completely different state with their mother. So Nathan doesn't get to see them very often, but they do get to come for Christmas. So I know that there are things that are needed for the house that I will have to purchase. And I know they're not my kids, but Nathan and I have a different situation. It's like he's my landlord technically. He owns this house and I rent a room from him, but we've been friends for longer than we've been roommates, and we just kind of split all the household expenses, even if there are things that are for his kids when they're here. It's just a shared household expense, and that's the way we do bills. And then he is awesome, and I only pay $400 a month for rent, so I'm not going to complain about buying toilet paper for his kids every couple of months. Like, it's okay. So that's that. Budgeting is getting nothing out of this check. Budgeting will come out of my next check. This is also a once a month category that I fill. I give myself $25 a month toward my budgeting, which is where I purchase my stickers for my catalog, any new pens that I need, which I don't need anything right now. I did just do a pretty big Etsy purchase on Black Friday week, so I should be getting those in hopefully this week, maybe next week. I ordered some new stickers from Life in Envelopes, and then I ordered a savings challenge from Budget with Ira. So when those come in, I will do an Etsy haul and we can open those together. But for right now, I don't need anything new, and so I'll wait till my next check to fill this category. Excuse me. And reimbursable, I don't typically cover this unless people have paid me back. So if I go to like for this, I had purchased flowers. We had a coworker's father pass away, and so I purchased flowers, and then other people reimbursed me for it. And so this is money that I don't need to account for in my budget, but I did actually pay, so I need people to pay me back. So I don't typically cover it with my own money. I cover it when they have paid me back. But like I said, I do need to make a payment on that card this week. So I am going to go ahead and cover this. It's only $24. I'm not worried about it. I know this person is good for it. So she just reached out to me and said, I'll pay you. I will pay you. Just give me a minute. And it's like, okay. And then after I've covered those categories, I come down to my once a month. These are my bills. This is where I have my bills. And I've heard Life in Envelopes explain this, and I really like the way she explains this. Her name is Jennifer Bleacher. If you're not familiar with her channel and you like cash stuffing and planning and paper budgeting, I highly recommend you check her channel out. I will link her below. And she is where I get all of my planner stickers for my my budget book, my planner. Anyway, she has described the way she does bills is a bill is something that will never get paid off, and a debt is something that will eventually get paid off. So a bill is something that it doesn't matter how long I own this thing, I am always going to be paying on it. So as long as I live in a house, I'm going to have to pay electricity and water and utilities. And as long as I drive a car, I'm going to have to pay car insurance. And as long as I am not dead, I'm going to have to pay insurance. Like, these are just things that it doesn't matter if I have them for 2 years or 50 years, I will never pay them off. And that's a bill. And I like the way she does that. And then she does debt as this is a loan, this is a car payment, this is a credit card. These are things that I will pay until the balance is zero, and then they will be paid off. And that's how she does debt. And I just like the way she explains that. So not original, but that's a great way of describing it. So I have 2 bills that I have to pay out of this paycheck. My YouTube music is $10.81, and that typically charges today on the 9th, which I have set up as a so it comes out automatically from my budget, which is here. It comes out automatically, so because today is the 9th, it told me I had overspent it, but I hadn't really overspent it. It just thinks it already came out. And the only other thing I have is OneDrive. Now, OneDrive is my Microsoft 360 and Google OneDrive subscription. It pays for both of those things. And then also, I normally keep a couple of bucks in here to cover my HP Instant Ink, which is not related. I just normally do it. So this is $7.57, which for some reason didn't type when I typed. And then I do only have 23 cents left in there from because I printed out my budget planner. If you didn't see it, I posted my 2023 budget planning, how setting up my budget planner, and I had printed out those pages. And because I had printed those out, I went a little over on the number of sheets that I can print in a month. I have the free Instant Ink because I've had it for years and years, and I got grandfathered into the free. So as long as I stay below 15 pages a month, I don't have to pay anything at all for my Instant Ink. But I did go just a little bit over because I printed a couple of things I printed a lot of extra pages for this. And I printed a lot of extra pages so I can do some planning. So I pre-planned before I put it into my actual planner. And then I also printed a couple of things for Nathan. So I had gone over, and normally I have $2 in there, and now I have 23 cents. I'll fill that, but not today. And those are the only 2 bills that I have to pay. So this week goes from today, which is the 9th, through next Thursday, which is the 15th. My weekly budget goes from Friday when I get paid to the next Thursday. So that's the way I do my weekly budget. I've only been doing weekly budget for a couple of months, and I really, really, really like it. It's working out very well for me. I used to do it by paycheck, which also worked, but I prefer the weekly. So if you want to go back, I'll try to find the video where I started my weekly budgets and link that. No promises, but I'll try to find it. I don't have a team of people that can look through my videos for me. It's just me, and I have to go to work. But if I can find that, I will link that video, and then you can see how I worked out how to go from a bi-weekly to a weekly budgeting system in YNAB and how I did that in my brain, if you're interested. But those are the only bills I have to pay. These other bills will all come out of future checks, so I am not worried about it. Medical bills. So as I mentioned, I have been dealing with a new diagnosis of celiac disease, and I had a lot of testing. I had a lot of labs. I had a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of prescriptions. I am still going through appointments, and I am still paying on bills. I'm still getting new bills from tests and procedures I did months ago, because hospitals are so behind in their billing. All of a sudden you think you're caught up on this and you've got a payment plan in place, and then they're like, oh, by the way, here's another $400 bill. Have a good day. Merry Christmas. Anyway, that happens. I just got one of those 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, I gotta figure out how to pay that now. But anyway, every time I have a little bit of extra money, I am trying to throw some money into my medical expenses. So I am going to be putting another $100 in here. And if you are not familiar with YNAB, this right here, this negative 213.91, these are bills that I know for sure are going to clear this month. Those are bills that are set up on an auto draft that I have set up in my, I'm pointing at my screen again, in my whatever card they're going to hit. So here it'll tell you I have on the 27th, this bill is going to come out for $64.04. On the 15th, this one is going to come out for $99.69. And on the 15th, this one is going to come out for $50.18. So that's a total of $213.91 by the 27th that I need to have covered. But I will be putting more money into this category throughout the month to cover it. I just, right now, I have $100 to put in there. This healthcare category, not to be confused with my medical category, this is my HSA plan, which I had money in and depleted it with all of these medical expenses. And this is actually not accurate. I forgot to go in and balance. There's another little bit in here. Starting in January, I am going to be putting more every check into my HSA just to have this covered. But this money needs to be kept very separate from the rest of it because this is on my HSA card. So it's a different card. I can only use it for medical expenses. I can't just go to HEB and buy groceries with it. So I have to make sure that this number here exactly matches what is on my HSA card, because if I have $90 on my HSA card and I only say I have $70 on this card, that means there's $20 somewhere in my budget that I think I can spend that I actually can't spend because I can only use it for medical expenses. So this number here is just my HSA card. I hope all of this makes sense. Okay, so every month, car maintenance is not getting out of this check. What do I have? Let me see. So every month I give myself $100 for $50 for giving in general, and I give myself $50 for giving to my niece. And I went a little over in giving for in general, and I really think I need to up this for December because I have two very big birthdays in December. My niece's birthday is in December, and obviously I spend a little bit more on her than I would on like a random person. And my bestie's birthday is in December, and obviously I spend a little bit more on her than I would on just a general friend. Like I said, gift giving is one of my love languages, that I enjoy giving people gifts. So I do spend a little bit more on, I normally spend about $25 to $30 on like my friends, and then on my good friends like Tiffany and Ginny, it'll be probably closer to $75 or $100. That's how I do it. Tiffany is my niece, by the way. And anyway, so I did take some of that money. I purchased things in previous months, and I did lump some of that into holiday giving just because I had money in that category, not my gift giving category. It's amazing how we can make our budgets work for us, right? Anyway, so I normally give myself $50 in each of these categories, $100 total. The reason I put $50 in specifically for Tiffany is because I know she's going to contact me once or twice a month and say, hey, can you send me $10 for gas? Can you send me some money for lunch? She's just 21. When I was 21, I definitely was still very dependent on my parents, and my sister passed away. So my niece, I'm kind of like her mom now. So I don't begrudge her the money. I'm very happy that I can help her, and I just budget that for her. She doesn't know I budget that for her because otherwise I know she would call me seriously every month and ask someone she doesn't ask for it. And then I just roll that money back into my categories or into my rollover and use it for something else. But this way, if she asks me, I do have that available for her. Stuff I forgot to budget for, I try to leave $20 in here just in case I overspend by a couple of dollars in dining out or in groceries. I can cover it. Normally, I don't go over by more than $20. This month is a different story. And then I put, I put $25 a month away for clothes. And I will be needing clothes because I am going on a cruise in March, Lord willing, and I need to buy a new bathing suit. Y'all, I ordered a dress for formal night on the internet, and I was so worried because I ordered it on Amazon, and it was shipping from China, and I'm a big girl. And a lot of times when you get things from Asia, they're very small because I think they just have a hard time visualizing somebody my size. And they're like, surely this person isn't this big. Well, I am. Yes, I am. So I ordered a size 24. Technically, I'm kind of in between a 24 and a 26 right now, but I ordered a 24 and it fits me. And so the fact that I am still losing weight, I'm hoping that by the time the cruise comes around, it will fit me perfectly. And this dress is gorgeous and it's floor length. And I won't put a picture in because I don't want to ruin it because I will be posting pictures when I actually go on my cruise. But I'm so excited that it came in. It took a couple of weeks, but it came in before they said, and it fit me, and it looks like what it's supposed to look like. And so if you've ever ordered anything off of Amazon from a foreign country, you'll know how much of a risk I took doing that, which is why I ordered it super early, just in case I needed to get something else. Anyway, that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about bathing suits. I'm going to need to buy some bathing suits for this cruise. So I am going to try to probably bulk this up a little bit more, but for right now. Vacation gets $50 a month. This, ooh, that would be, I wish I could put $500 in. That is what is going in there. Passport renewal gets $177 a month. I've already filled that. What else do I have to fill? Wondershare is my video editing software that I use. I put $5 a month away for that, so I can pay it when it's done. Registration and inspection is for my car. That is not on this one. Medical taxes is the only other thing I have on here. Taxes, I put $20 a month away. And then if I owe any money at the end of the year, when my taxes come, I have a little bit of a savings buffer built up. Last year, I ended up owing like $35 or something. I honestly can't remember what it was. It was not very much money. But that was the first time I've ever owed money. And so I decided I was just going to put something away. And then if I owe money at the end of the year, I have a little bit of a savings buffer toward it. If I don't owe money at the end of the year, well, I can take this money out and put it toward my cruise. Buy myself something nice, a souvenir or something, or I don't know. But if I do owe it, I have it set aside. So that is sitting there for that. And then my 52-week savings challenge, which this has just basically become my vacation fund. This, I put $53 a paycheck away. And I only have this one and one more, y'all. And we did the whole year of 52-week savings challenges. So I finished well, not yet. I haven't finished it yet, but I am about to finish a savings challenge. In 2 weeks from today, I will have finished my very first savings challenge ever. And I'm super duper excited about that. So, oh yeah, I was like, why do I have so much money left over? Because Seth paid me early. Seth is a friend of mine. So I mentioned my sister passed away, and my niece came to live with me when my sister passed away. And at some point, I purchased a car for her. Like I put it in my name, but she was making payments on it. And then she moved out and she could no longer afford those payments. And another friend of ours from church was looking for a car at that same time. So he agreed to take over car payments for the car that I had purchased for my niece. And so he pays me every month for that car and also for the insurance on that car, because since it's financed in my name, I have to cover it for insurance. So he pays me every month for the car and the insurance. And he normally doesn't pay me until like the 15th. It's not due until the 27th, but he paid me like on Tuesday this week. So I was like, okay. I'm just going to leave it sitting there. I'm not going to use it, but it makes my rollover higher than I thought it should be. What did I just do? Oh, and I got to put $2 in for Baby Joe. I always forget to put $2 in for Baby Joe. My nephew had a baby on Halloween, and he is also named Joe. My nephew is Joe, and then he has a son named Joe. So I am trying to put the baby's age away. So $1 a week for since he's not a year old yet. So it'll be $1 a week for the first year, and then once he's 1, it'll be $1 a week. When he's 2, it'll be $2 a week. When he's 3, it'll be $3 a week. And then when he's 18, he'll have a nice little savings available that Aunt Bet can give him for his birthday or for his graduation or for whatever. That's my plan. I always do it, but I always forget to put it on my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in right now. Writing that in. And Baby Joe gets $2. Okay. So it's not very much money. I just always forget to subtract it. So that leaves me $1,332.08 to roll into next week's budget. Next week is the third week of December. So I have these categories down here. This is a holding category, 133,208. And that is what I will have to work with next week, as long as I don't go overspending again. And I just shrink this, and then I don't see it. It's all the way at the bottom of my categories. It's shrunk down, and I don't pay any attention to it. Next week on Friday morning, I will pull this up to the top. I will just empty that. It will come back up here, and that's what we'll work with for the third week of December. Oh my goodness, it's December. So this is my budget plan for the second week of December, which again goes from December the 9th through December the 15th. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for bearing with me, listening to me ramble on about categories. But I am so thankful for all of y'all. Again, I posted that setting up my 2023 budget planner, and I had a couple of people comment and be like, hey, you forgot this. Hey, what about that thing you said you wanted to do? And I'm like, this is why I need y'all. I love y'all. You keep me honest. You remind me of what I want to do that I forgot I wanted to do. And I don't know how people budget without sharing it with everybody. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. In keeping with that, if you noticed anything that I just messed up, that I said I wanted to do that you didn't see me budget, please let me know. Or if you have any ideas of what you're doing that you find helpful and you want to share with me, please let me know those below as well. I really, really love it when people share their tips with me. They don't always work for me, but I love hearing what you're doing. And if they will work for me, I will totally implement them. Okay. It's 7:53. I have to be to work in 7 minutes, and I still have to go get breakfast and call my mom. So I'm going to go, but I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I hope you have some super fun plans this weekend, and you get to see your friends and family. What am I? Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you are not yet and you would like to be, please consider subscribing and coming along with me on this or my other journeys. I also have a mental health playlist and a physical health playlist that you can check out. I will link them in the description box. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye.